All right. Well, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your time today. And my name is Ernie Delgado. I'm the CEO of Beyond Technology Education, and I'm joined with a couple friends. And today we're going to talk about a project that we've created in partnership with 22 vets to help educators understand and share with students what it is to be a veteran and how to honor our veterans. Today, we're going to walk you through the contents of the curriculum, some strategies on how to deliver the curriculum, and then two links. One, to join the community to get support and help each other on how to best use this in your classrooms. And two, how to actually download the curriculum. And thank you for 22 Vets, who's making this complimentary to all educators. First up, I would like to present Laurelyn Vasquez. Laurelyn is our Director of Education, and she and Monica Castillo, who is our curriculum director, will cover what the curriculum is. But before I get to that, let's bring on Rob Purcell, who is the president of 22 Vets and was really the inspiration behind this project. Rob, take it away.
All right. Well, thank you, Ernie. I'd like to say thank you to Laura Lynn, Monica, and your entire amazing staff for your commitments and time dedicated to this very important project. My name is Rob Purcell. I'm the president of 22 Vets. We are a technology aggregator with a focus on cyber, physical, and social wellness for students in the communities that they live in. 22 Vets, just to share a little bit about our background, we began as a support mission to end the mental health and social wellness issues that are challenging our veterans. This project itself was created as a way to begin building the support community for our veterans by creating awareness of what does it mean to be a veteran. Less than 1% of your students will raise their right hand and take an oath to serve so that we can live with all the freedoms that we have. But it's the other 99% that will become the support community for those veterans that they'll need when they're transitioning back into civilian life. So this project is a first step to beginning the building that community and see the end of the challenges facing the 22 veterans who will lose their life to mental challenges every single day. So with that said, on behalf of our staff here at 22 Vets and the veterans that we serve, I'd like to say thank you for taking the time to learn more and to get involved in this very important mission.
Awesome. Real good. Thank you for that, Rob. And let me go ahead and bring up Monica next. Monica, you have the slides, correct? And I am I'm making you the host, and you should have access.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for being here. I am really excited to present our curriculum, and thank you, our veterans, for serving. And I want to say that I've learned a lot as we're going through the process, and I appreciate just what the sacrifice that our military service and our veterans do for us. So thank you so much. But before I begin, Laurelyn, did you want to start as how we're here? Okay.
So Rob approached us and said, hey, we need a curriculum. Can you guys help us out? And so we sat down. And part of the writing process, when you are creating a curriculum, there's a team that comes together. And the first part of the team, is we people talk about the instructional designers who actually write the curriculum, but it's not possible without what we call SMEs, subject matter experts. And so the first thing that we do is we sit down with the subject matter experts, the SMEs, and interview. And we practice active listening. So we are listening not just for the words that they're saying, but the heart behind it, the body language, so that we can truly understand all that goes around this subject. And our subject today is, who is a veteran? So this summer we met with Rob, and at the same time, there was actually a daughter of a veteran who was there on our team. And so I'm listening to her and I'm listening to Rob, and I'm like, wow, this is much bigger than what we had originally thought, just come up with a simple project here or there. So from there, Monica and I met with numerous other veterans, the spouses, and their children. So from all over the United States, and to be clear, of all ages. So some veterans who had served in World War II in their 90s to veterans who are in their late 20s. And everything in between, as well as spouses of veterans and children of veterans, because they have a very clear definition of what it means to be a veteran as well. So we took all of that information together and started writing. And then we wrote with the standards of each state in line. So of all of our states that we have, there's some states that have standards to teaching about our government, about our veterans, and there's some that don't. So we went and we did some research and we found some of the highest standards that we could find so that we were super inclusive. So no matter what state you are in, there is a standard that's being met. Sometimes it's also combined with a math standard, a language arts standard, as well as a history social study standard. So we took those standards, we took the interviews from our SMEs, and then we created an outline with 3 different groupings: K through 2, 3 through 5, 6 through 8. And so if you've got a first grade class, you're going to be teaching the K through 2, and you might be able to do some of the second grade, or you might, go down and have it be a little more kindergarten. It's very adaptable to your kids and what your students' needs are that we have. So that's how we broke it apart. That's how we came up with the curriculum. And then I'll let Monica take it from here for the actual, what is the curriculum?
Monica, you want to share your screen? Oh, there it goes. Perfect.
Yes. Okay, so what we really wanted to focus is not really pretty much, Veterans Day, but it really more in deep, what is a veteran? And we really wanted to focus on our students understanding the value of being a veteran. So as Laura Lynn mentioned, our goal is to define not just the term veteran, but all the connections and sacrifices, and not only for a veteran, but also the families, which is really important. So most of our projects is based on the importance. So as Laura Lynn mentioned, we focused on our different standards. So most of them were social studies and math for some data analysis. So these are some of the links that we were able to gather from kindergarten through 8th grade. And also, once you're able to get part of the lesson plan, you also will be able to find it on the links on the lesson plan as well. So just so you know exactly what statistics you were able to find. So for kindergarten and 2nd grade, what they're going to work on, they're going to work on pretty much on Google Suite. They're going to work on some Google Slides. They're also going to work on Google Sheets and Google Docs. So most of the projects we were able to implement all of the Google Suites websites. So these are objectives to understand the meaning of what is a veteran, and also being able to tell the difference between our daily lives, active duty, and service members, veterans. So, it's not just because, I was under the impression that you're a veteran, that means you're older. So I learned that, you can be 20, like Lauren mentioned, and you can still have, your normal routine. You can still go to work. So it was, really important for our children to understand. Also, they're going to learn how to appreciate, not just by saying thank you. There's different ways of saying thank you. We can write letters. We can have a moment of silence. We can, hang our flags outside. So it's just learning different ways of being appreciated. And then recognize some of our holidays, knowing the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. That's what I learned. And also they're going to work on a digital alphabet book. So, and also every lesson we're going to focus on vocabulary words. So not only it's overall, but every lesson will have a little bit of chunks. So these are some of the vocabulary words. They won't have it all on the lesson plan. Will be broken up into either 3 or 4. And these are the titles of our projects for kinder through 2nd. Who is a veteran? The Heroes Among Us, Veteran Rose, celebrating our veterans, and then military alphabet. We have 2 examples for each age group. So this is one of them. This is our alphabet book. So as they're going through each letter, they'll also have some sort of activity. Either they need to count some objects, or they need to type a phrase, or move some objects around. So this one, they'll have fun. So we'll also focus on our different branches and so forth. And this is another activity on Google Sheets where as they learn the different words on the vocabulary words, they will type in some letters on there, and then they'll have some shapes and they'll have some colors appear that will represent our nation. And now we're going to skip over to 3rd and 5th grade. So they're also they're going to focus more on the military branches and what does each one mean, the symbols, you know, where does it fall into, and also the role of a family member. You know, how, you know, we need to also focus on, I know the term brats, where, you know, that's how the children are, how they kind of symbolize themselves. And also we'll have our objectives, our learning objectives. And these are our titles, which is exploring the United Forces, honoring our heroes, understanding their service and sacrifice, supporting our veterans and families, and honoring our veterans. And these are the 2 samples. So this is the branches, but they're going to focus more 1 slide per branch. And then they'll go more deep into is how to show support and how can we honor our heroes. So this is one lesson plan itself. And this other one, also they'll focus on some vocabulary words and the gratitude wall. Sometimes we kind of forget what we're grateful for, so they'll go more deep into what really, truly what they're grateful for. Not just, you know, my family, myself, but more deep into our veterans and their service. And Laurelyn, you want to present
Yeah.
today?
So as the students get older, middle school is kind of my jam. We really want them to not just have the head knowledge, but also truly start engaging in the heart knowledge. And middle schoolers are ready for that. As much as we give them conflict for not thinking and feeling, middle schoolers feel deeply and can have the ability to really learn a skill that we call active listening. But the project name, Who is a Veteran? These, again, 5 projects that we have. So ideally, you would be starting really soon leading up into Veterans Day. But they're going to be discussing the meaning and importance for advocacy for veterans. They're going to be creating infographics illustrating different wars and involvement of the veterans. They're also going to be practicing and learning about active listening. So often we think we know, I know, especially if you have a middle schooler, you've heard them say, I know, Mom, I know, Dad. But really what we want them to learn is to active listening. So they'll be interviewing, whether it's through watching videos and taking notes, or actually interviewing veterans and learning how to practice the active listening skill. And then again, with the idea of gratitude, creating a infographic, a poster of the ways of what they learned, how to be grateful for their service. They'll be engaging with the guest speakers. They're going to be planning and designing a project to address and identify the needs that we have, such as an awareness campaign, a fundraising event, or community service. Again, they have a list of vocabulary words that just grows from the other grades. Go on. So here's the 5 projects: a journey through veterans military service, adapting to changing times, a lesson on active listening, understanding the challenges that our veterans and their families have, as well as advocating for veterans and their families. And we really want that to be important, because as a teacher, you're going to be having kids in your class who may have veterans or active military service in their families, right? It could be one of their parents. And they have some very special needs that they have. And, you know, to be able to listen to one another, listen to them, and to be able to have their hearts in our hands as teachers to say, hey, tell me, what is it like for you and your family having a parent in the military, or having your parent have already served and is now a veteran? So here's one of the projects, the military branches, honoring our heroes and understanding the challenges, and then how to strengthen the communities, understand the distinction, and activities we go to. So that's a sample of one of the projects that they're going to be creating. And the next one is adapting to changing times, to be able to look at how veterans are different throughout the year. So Monica had kind of mentioned, you think of them as veterans as old. I think of World War II vets. I actually have some people that were Vietnam vets. And then I had my stepdad, who's passed away, but he was during the Korean War vet. Well, all three of those veterans are very different and how they perceive life. And so now you have vets post 9/11, which is very different from any of our wars, what they've experienced. And even within that, you have people that never went overseas that are veterans. So there's such a difference in all of our veterans. And so we really want our students to be able to understand that and to be able to have a heart for all of the different veterans that we have and their experiences.
And that's it. We
And that's
have
it. Yeah.
just the final, the last
Yeah.
one.
So those are examples of each of them.
Before we get to Q&A, Monica, put it back over so I could share my screen. I want to wrap up a couple things here and give people access to the resources that we're putting together here.
1 second.
Let me know when I'm up. So just to go back a little bit, how this all started during the summer, I had time to sit down with Rob with 22 Vets, and we talked about just the mission of 22 Vets and what they're trying to accomplish as an organization. And we got into the resources that they put together and provide for veterans. They have a nonprofit, so a certain percentage of their operating profits goes towards this nonprofit, which supports veteran services. And I started thinking, and everyone has some kind of connection to a veteran. I mean, my grandfather, like Laura Lynn, was in the Korean conflict, and several people in my sphere had some contact with the military. And for a lot of people, including myself, Veterans Day was just a 3-day weekend, right? That's all we look forward to, another 3-day weekend. But when you really drill down, this is a really important cornerstone of our country as veterans, the sacrifices, the wars they fought in to maintain our security and our freedoms. And we don't want to just go gloss over it. So we want to make sure that this curriculum is available for educators to be able to have the resources to have a real good, honest dialogue with their students on what it is to be a veteran, how to honor them, but more importantly, when you have contact with the veteran, how do you communicate with them? What I've learned through this process is veterans internalize a lot and maybe aren't real good communicators. And so they might come off as maybe aloof or distant or angry. There's a lot of different emotions that they might portray, but behind that is serious trauma that we want to try to help young people become advocates or just be aware. Why is grandpa grumpy? Why is dad not talking to us? There's reasons. And so we're trying to make sure that they don't take it personally, but understand why. I think that's the really big takeaway here is giving young people resources to communicate and understand their role in the lives of a veteran. And 22 Vets, thank you so much again, Rob, for being part of this and providing the resources to make this happen. Monica and Laura Lynn for building this curriculum. So there's two things I want to point out to teachers. First is join our Slack community. Here's where there will be a link to the curriculum there as well. I'm going to give you another link, but here's where educators can get together to talk about this. This isn't just a static document, one time, put it away and forget about it. Let's create this community so every year we could build this up so that educators have resources to communicate. And as Rob mentioned, start creating this community of young people that are advocating for veterans, that understand veterans, and start making this just part of our skill set as humans, how we interact with veterans. They're special people that went through very unique situations that have created a new version of themselves, and we need to learn how to interact with those people because they're important. So click this QR code, or if you can write down that URL, feel free. Maybe take a screenshot here. If you're watching the video, rewind forward to get back to this if you need it. Because the other resource we have is the actual curriculum. It's a PDF. It's real simple. You could open it on any device. You can upload it into your Google Classroom. Go back to the community to learn how to do that. I'm sure Monica will put some trainings on how to do that, and be part of the community. Help each other understand how best to leverage this. How have you modified it for your grade level? How have you adapted it to your state standards in your situation? And let's create a community of educators that really now has a solid understanding and solid resources on how to handle Veterans Day. This year, we're in 2023. Veterans Day is November 11th. Did you know that? We have,
Every year. It's
yeah,
November 11th.
November 11th. Every year. Okay.
Every year.
There you know, every year, November 11th. So let's make sure that we create this resource and let people know. Share it with your coworkers. Share it with other schools. Your own children, share it with their teacher. We really want to get this out there. I had an opportunity to go spend some time with the team over at 22 Vets. They're based in Illinois. A good group of guys and gals that are all committed, not just to being the best at what they do when it comes to reselling technology equipment, but supporting vets with their nonprofit. There's a lot there. Rob, you want to wrap it up? I mean, there's a lot going on with your group, but I'll let you close the conversation here.
All right. Well, yeah, appreciate it. Just very quickly, I didn't think I was going to talk about the nonprofit, but I will bring it up and discuss it here. And again, why we started. So because of COVID, right? I don't know if anybody on here has been impacted by that in the year 2020, but we definitely were. Our nonprofit, Operation Wild Horse and Veterans R&R, was impacted financially, and we were trying to figure out like different ways to keep it going, because we have veterans who are in our program who will tell you that, hey, we're alive today because of the resources and the programs you provide for us. And so instead of having another really large bake sale, I said, let's just start a for-profit company, right? And that's where 22 Vets became a living, breathing for-profit company to help support our nonprofit organization. So we're, as a company and organization, we really take that word business out and we replace it with mission, because our mission is to help those veterans who are being challenged. And over the past couple of years, we've seen, a lot. It's kind of amazing as we continue to build in different programs like this that's available to the veterans, because if you look at every individual veteran, we all have a challenge or an issue that we have, but they're not unique to us. They really aren't. We're all dealing with a lot of the same issues and challenges. It's just that we don't talk about it, so we feel like it's only ours. So the more that we can start educating and building a community of the support community outside of just us internally, is a way that systematically we can start seeing the 22 a day, right? Start to see that number go down. And if anybody, I mean, they don't teach this in business school, but we're in business to put ourselves out of business. If we can do that, mission success. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen within our timeline. So it's the children, it's the ones that are coming up and through, that will be that support community for those veterans when they're ready to transition out of their time of service. So but it takes community. It takes a community of teachers, it takes a community of educators that we can continue to spread and share this content and share this amazing program, so that it's in every classroom. And we're talking about veterans leading up to Veterans Day. We have a day that's dedicated, to talk about, but why are we not, spending a little bit more time? Because it does, once you go a little bit deeper, as Laura Lynn shared, each veteran, we're not different. And we're very different in a lot of different ways in terms of how we served and who we serve. So the more that we can start educating on how to communicate, and I think that's the biggest word here, how do we communicate with each other and with veterans, is a way that we're going to start systematically seeing that number decline. So with that said, thank you again. This is amazing. The first time I get to see like the final product here that you guys put together, and it brought tears to my eyes, because we're very passionate about this. We're passionate about our veterans. We're passionate about our communities and our students. So anything that we can do to continue to help build and grow that, it's going to take all of us to do it. It's not just one individual. So thank you.
You're welcome, Robin. Thanks for having faith in us and trust in us to develop this in partnership with your team. We're very thankful for that, and we're very excited to see how this moves forward. We got time to get the word out. Anyway, folks, I appreciate you joining us. Again, to the team, thank you for what you created, Monica, Laurelyn, Rob, to you and the guys at 22 Vets and the whole group there. It's been fantastic to work with you, and we're looking forward to seeing how this moves forward and impacting the lives of vets and helping teachers communicate with students how to impact vets. So with that said, we're out of here in under 30 minutes. You are welcome. And download the resources, join the community, and please share. We want to know. There's a hashtag, Laurelyn, right?
Hashtag?
Did we
No.
develop a hashtag?
We didn't develop a hashtag.
We will have a hashtag. It will be in the community, so you
Okay.
can share this on your social
Yeah.
networks. All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great
All
day.
right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.